Greetings from California. My name is Meadow Lynn, and I've actually written a couple books. This is the Mystic Cookbook, and this is Quest. Both books I co-authored with my mom, Denise Lynn. And wow, it's such a joy to be here today and talking about what it means to be empowered, and especially to be empowered as a woman or as a girl. I think there are a lot of different ways to feel empowered. But for me, one of the most important things that my mom helped instill in me from a very young age is that we have choices. And sometimes it might not feel like it. And I know lots of times in my life it hasn't felt like it. But knowing that you do have a choice can really be the start to feeling empowered and taking steps toward your future in exciting and strong, empowered ways. One example of this was when I was about 12. Yeah, yes, I was 12. And I was starting at a new school. And I'd been at kind of an inner city, public, kind of rough and tumble school. And I'd been in this kind of creative, artistic, alternative program. I had lots of friends. And I started at a new school, and it was a private school with lots of very smart, very wealthy students. And I really wanted to be at this school, and it was an honor to be there. But I also really felt like I didn't fit in. And socially, it was very hard in the beginning. I actually threw up every day for the first 2 weeks before school because I was so nervous. And one time as I was crying or telling my mom, like, I don't know, it's so hard that, and all those worries that come up, I don't feel smart enough, I don't feel pretty enough, I'm not popular enough, I'm not rich enough, all of those things that were kind of plaguing me, and I felt like, I don't know if I can do it. I wanted to be there, but I wasn't sure. It just felt hard. And my mom told me, she said, okay, when it gets hard, jump up on the desk and announce to the class, this sucks and I'm leaving. And oh my God, I was horrified that she would even suggest such a thing. And I would have never in a million years ever done that. But there was power in knowing that I could, if I wanted to. I probably would have gotten in trouble. But knowing that my mom, of all people, had told me, you know what? When it gets bad, when you get scared or sad or you just feel, really uncomfortable. This was middle school. It's a tough time, or, early teen years for a lot of us, especially for girls. But having my mom say, you know what? You have a choice. You don't have to take the things that are. There's power. What am I trying to say? Yes, there is a lot of there are benefits in pushing through the things that are hard for us, and in the end, we can have deep satisfaction. But there's other times when we need to take a stand and say, you know what, this sucks, and I'm leaving. And so, of course, I never did it. But simply knowing in my head, whenever things felt challenging at school, to know that, hey, if I wanted to, I could just get up here and announce, it sucks and I'm leaving. And that really helped me to feel empowered, that I had a choice, that it wasn't this life that was being imposed on me. And especially when you're young, I think it's easy to feel a little bit out of control because we don't have control over all parts of our life. But simply knowing those little things that you have a choice in a lot of ways. And another example, recently, just a few weeks ago actually, I had an all in all out meltdown. The kind where you just curl up in bed crying? Well, that's what I did. Started with some shouting and then tears, and then finally I was just worn out and I got in bed and I was sobbing. And I don't remember what really instigated all of it. But really it came down to the fact I was very, very stressed. And I hadn't even realized all of these things that were building up. I kind of felt like an octopus with 8 legs, and each leg was being pulled in a different direction. And in the middle, I didn't know what I wanted because I was trying to do what everybody else wanted. And everybody said, I need this from you. I need this article yesterday, and I need you to do this, and I need these things, and I need this. And I was just feeling overwhelmed. And the more that I felt overwhelmed, the more I started to think about all the other things in my life that didn't feel like they were going in the direction that I wanted. And one thing turns into the next, and pretty soon I'm just spiraling out of control. The tears are flowing, and I'm thinking about, what am I doing in my career? What am I doing in my personal life? What am I doing, financial life, my physical health, all of those things. And my mom said, you know what? You can stop. You can just take a month off. And once again, just like when I was in middle school, and I said, no, I can never jump up on the desk. I said, no, there's no way. I can't stop. Everybody needs these things from me. I am responsible to these people, and I have promised that I will do X, Y, and Z, and I have to do it, and it has to be me. And once again, I didn't take a month off, but simply knowing, hey, it's possible to stop. And when I really started to think about it, analyze it, I realized, even though my first reaction was, no, of course I can't stop, I started to think about it and thought, actually I can. We all can. Even when things feel absolutely impossible, there are ways that we can stop. And of course, okay, taking a month off of your life, you have many kinds of jobs, you can't actually do that easily, but it's still possible. It's just like when you stay home from school sick and it feels like, oh my God, or you stay home from work sick, how will they ever continue without me, or how will I catch up? And somehow we find a way. So for me, in this particular situation, simply knowing that, wait a minute, I have a choice. I could stop if I wanted to, and I could take a month just to catch my breath. As I said, I didn't, but knowing that I could, that it was possible, because a lot of, at least for me, a lot of what's challenging for me is that, or what am I trying to say? A lot of it for me, when I feel most upset, is when I feel out of control and I'm not directing my own life. And I guess, so recently, once again, I started to think about how we are in control of our reactions to situations. And once again, for me, a lot of it has to do with that sense of control. That when things are spiraling out of control and I feel as though I can't be in charge of where my life is going, of certain situations, that's when I have the most difficulty. So, a number of months ago, a friend told me that she was getting married, and I was very excited for her. And she said, you're going to love my fiance. I can't wait for you to meet him. And I was so excited because, like me, throughout her 20s, she'd been looking for love. And I thought, I can't wait to see her in her beautiful wedding dress and with this man that she's fallen in love with. Well, and then a few months later, I found out that I hadn't been invited to the wedding after all. And I was hurt and disappointed, and I felt sad. This is a friend I've known for half my life, maybe more. And then I realized I had a choice. I could dictate how I felt. I could either write the story where it was a personal slight, and there was something I did to her, something about me that she didn't like, and I could take it really personally, and I could carry this grudge for a long time. Or I could write the story that she wanted a very small wedding, and when it came down to it, she had a lot of family she needed to invite. And they're just, I didn't make the cut. There was, it wasn't personal. They're just, she wanted a small wedding, and there were too many people that she had to invite. So I realized that I had a choice. I was in control of my reaction. And once I realized that I got to make that choice, I didn't feel so hurt or disappointed. And I felt empowered because I was choosing my reaction. And that's a lesson I'm still working on. I'm still learning. But every time I remember that, and when I feel upset or hurt about something, it's very helpful for me to think, wait, I can choose to feel sad or guilty or hurt, or I can choose to feel joyful and happy and excited. And that has really been empowering for me, and it has made a big difference in how I continue forward in my life. So my wish for you is to feel as though you have choices, even when it might feel as though that everything's out of your control, is to realize that you can just hop up and say, this sucks and I'm leaving. Yeah, maybe you get in trouble. Maybe you get kicked out of school, but you still have the ability to make that choice for yourself. And you are not a victim to circumstances. And that to me is really what it means to be empowered, is understanding that you have freedom to choose the directions of your life. And I wish you so much joy and happiness. And once again, I'm sending hugs from California.